Alright, testing. Alright, welcome back to Play and Talk. It's been about a month since we last did an episode. And yet here we are gonna be playing Gears 5. Or Gears of War for short.
I mean, I've always, for Gears 5 for it, I've more or less always just said Gears as the short end version because it's sort of just like, that's just what I've always called it, as is pretty much most people anyway.
That's more than fair. So, how you liking the game overall? I've only tried the cooperative modes.
I would say though, based on Gears 5, it's definitely, I would say, since I'm a person who's been in it, I've been a fan of it since Gears of War 2, which was the game that introduced me to it, and I've been a fan since. I would say for me, this is easily, if I were to put my order for Gears of War titles, it'd be Gears of War 3, then 2, 5, I would say 4, Judgment, and then Gears 1.
From best to least, from most to best?
Yeah, most favorite to least favorite.
Alright. We got a lot to talk about over the, let's do beginner. Do you want to do intermediate or just beginner?
Let's just do beginner. It's easier and we can get our stuff done much better.
Good point. Identifying potential players. Yeah, first off, let's start with the stupid and the bad news. First of all, projared has released a video like you've been lied to.
I didn't watch it, but I was aware of that.
Yeah.
And for me, it was pretty predictable that he would be already throwing that, saying about how everyone was lying with it, though. And based on everything that's accounting there, it's really, for me, looks exactly like what I'd expect them to say.
Yeah. Sony wants to make a remake of The Princess Bride.
Doesn't really shock me though. Unfortunately, a lot of people who own movie rights have been going in the more remake area of it. I've never seen The Princess Bride, so I can't really ever.
I've seen it. It's really good, and I don't think Sony owns the rights. I just want to point that out. I just want to point that out.
Well, keep in mind, Sony also owns major joining studios like Columbia and no doubt other movie studios as well. And I wouldn't expect something like that to be an announcement if they actually were.
And they just said that they're interested, that the CEO says they're interested, and I think it's just full of shit. You probably
I can't really blame him for that as a person. He's a person after all. He's going to say like, no, kind of would like to see this or that though. Again, I honestly am not really. I'm always super iffy on the idea of remaking for movies. I'm often more open to the idea when the remake is of movies that were more about mixed bad or bad sort of quality. Whereas if it's like more things that a lot of people have loved though, that's for me when it starts to be more iffy on it. But again, I can't really say I have high emotion for that because it was just never a movie I was attached to. One I just heard in passing.
Yeah. You probably heard about the promotion about the Joker movie. First of all, Phoenix having to walking out interview when the interviewer asked him about something.
About if it would inspire for other ones like that. And yeah, I could get it that he probably was so caught off guard by it because as the guy doesn't seem to have social media anywhere and seems to stick mostly to himself, it to me isn't really a shock that he would end up not really knowing that people thought that since he kind of doesn't really expose himself to the world.
Yeah, it feels like he's in a bit of a bubble here.
I mean, I don't really blame him. I mean, especially considering like how bad a lot of the internet can be at many points. I can't really say I blame him for that.
And you probably heard about that Aura in
Pop
Colorado.
Phillips's comments as well on that. Honestly, as far
Aura,
as it,
I just want to say that Aura has expressed their discomfort of the movement. We all know what happened.
Bomb's about to blow!
Oh, I know how to use this one!
the Laura, yeah, I still remember that.
Got him! The sign is got Keegan!
That's why they took this
somebody get him off.
and asked Warner Brothers to make a
Get him off of
donation.
me.
I forget
think I could hit that house, did ya?
donate.
I feel but I consider it that they should be just obligated for anything of that, when really, the sort of psychos who would do the sort of thing that these people are talking about, they'll find the justification in one way or another, and I highly doubt that movie is going to make them think of doing something that they otherwise wouldn't have. I used to
here's something
give that
even crazier.
legitimacy back then.
Here's something even crazier. As a bit of precaution, the U.S. military in Oklahoma
Weapon spotted!
Oklahoma has put up a bit of a warning that
Reloading!
that the movie may inspire the incel anyone what they people who are after the shot. So I could have been worried about on my part, but
again, it's just a thing of like, I really would not expect that movie to do that much. Yes, there have been crazies out of there. I mean, how Rick and Morty's fan base is going to McDonald's over Szechuan sauce, so theoretically anything's possible. So I would say sure, but at the same time, though, I think it's more just overblown though for it. And as I look more into it,
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I am sure.
It's just that it feels like a case of people just thinking that it's going to have a bigger impact than it will.
Yeah.
Will it do things like say maybe have Phoenix and actor nomination? I mean, sure, I consider that it's possible. I mean, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. But at the same time, I don't really think I'm in the camp of just like willing to freak out though, acting like this movie's gonna inspire people to do things. When the people we're talking about, we pretty much already know they were gonna plan on doing whatever it is that we think they're gonna do anyway. It's just that at worst, maybe this movie gave them a slight more justification when they already had several.
Here's something even
it's shitty as it is,
yeah,
but
now here's something even dumber. The director Todd, his last name, he complained. Yeah, he's complaining about like how the far left seems to get really.
I mean, I'm not really saying comments, because even though I am very don't really like the whole people thing, especially in news of that Eddie Murphy skit, Eddie Murphy actually coming out, where he said how he actually did he was recognitions that maybe the jokes he did, and apparently one of his more famous. So for it, I have a shit still, but at the same time, this is a thing where I do think that or at the very least occasionally, that people on the far left might be too much of its own
obnoxious. They're obnoxious, but they as far as
a bit
too
terminated.
Yes, obnoxious. It might be the right term.
Obnoxious. I was thinking more of like they're trying to too hard to be on the more wokeness factor of it, or whatever it is you want to call it.
Yeah.
But for me, it kind of just has that
Good.
to it,
That's all
where it has good intentions behind it, but it kind of could just have this feeling of just
The safe room's right
they
ahead.
are just they're trying too hard to try to be aware of things, which I
need to
typically
stay
don't
together.
though. But there comes a point when it's like, okay, guys,
it's
you
open.
don't have to go that far.
My reaction to him complaining is like, well, cry me a river. Cry me a fucking river.
I mean, as far as it's more or less was already a given that a movie about this, though, and especially when you try to do movies about villains who have stories, it's gonna be a thing
I'm a friendly.
I mean, sure, you could have ones that really catch fire
Safe
and get on board with it, like Maleficent, but those tend to be few and far between. But then again, so are those kind of movies.
That's not only you complain about like
Even if
how
I'm
you complain about like John Wick being more relatable. Like John Wick. Sean, like, what do you say about Sean Wick, like, being, like,
Stalking
seeing more,
up.
being, having, more people being more receptive to Sean Wick than Joker?
Copy that.
And, you know, Chico,
Right, let's look around the room while we can.
Chico Watt, on, Twitter, she said that puppies!
Warning.
Doesn't love puppies. I like looking up right now. Give me a second.
Back to it, people.
Yeah, because puppies, okay? Because puppies. And then I added, as a reply to her, to them. I don't know, her. John Wick is also more likable, more charismatic, less pretentious, and only kills if he has to, meaning he doesn't kill his feelings. Sure, anyone's willing to walk away. Whereas the Joker is an overhyped clown who's probably coveted by incels.
I'm ready.
I mean, people often don't seem to always correct a lot of movies they love most about them. Tends to always be the movies that completely refute his point, though. Again, it goes into that point that unfortunately a lot of people don't understand the movies they profess to love so much.
Yeah.
Such as in The Dark Knight, though. Like, apparently some people still forgot the message, even though it's spelled as clearly as they can be. What were you trying to prove? That everyone's like you're alone. Like, honestly, it feels like that I don't know how you can watch that movie and think on any level the Joker was meant to be someone who was considered to have a point when the movie entirely refutes that.
Yeah. And also,
again,
the people that John Wick goes against are also are assassins and generally assholes. That's why people cheered for John Wick.
I mean, I kind of think, though, that it just really succeeds because it knows what it is and just basically is just going with it.
Yeah, and
but when
whereas...
it comes to things like such as wanting to be high concept or thinking you are, though, again, that's always a sort of complicated thing to maneuver because, I mean, there are plenty of movies people consider more credit, though, or especially a more serious effort than maybe even its own creators give it for. But at the same time, though, it can also be considered argued, potentially over, now I lost my train of thought, if they think that it's trying to be smarter than it was, though. I can be sympathetic for either stance, but... Oh, well.
For me,
but again,
I'm just not gonna watch the movie because it just seems like one of those pretentious, edgy, Oscar-bait movies that they're just like a dime a dozen.
Shite on me!
I'm honestly still gonna
split up on two on.
Of it though, and truth be told though, I'm not really concerned about whether it's gonna have asshole fan bases, but quite frankly, any high-profile movie always has an asshole.
It's okay. We're gonna have to desire.
Even if maybe some of them add a little bit more than others, I can't really see Joker as being something more exceptional of it, though. And especially considering that people who are fans, even though he's a great character, again, it's more of a people who just keep getting involved with it for the wrong reasons. Again, I think of this all the time, though. Especially, like, even like with Episode 5, though, how so many people played it's their most favorite movie, and yet somehow they can miss even the biggest parts of dialogue from there. You can especially see this in the whole, oh, like, she shouldn't be able to do that, she wasn't trained for it, and somehow miss the scene where it is stated in like the exact words, come on man, lifting rock is one thing, lifting the structure, that's entirely different. No different, only different in your mind, and somehow people are like, oh yeah, this movie I profess to love so much, I totally forgot about that. Again, it's just a thing though, where it's the annoying thing with it, but give or take after a few months, people are already coming down with it, as they have for a while.
Incoming blast!
Oh shit! Oh, there's a lot of things that were announced, including but not limited to what's Phase 4 for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
5.
Why did you even bother?
4.
But we already concluded with Phase 4. That was
they concluded. We don't know what. And we're on Phase 4. Now, far from that, epilogue to Phase 3.
Grabbing this.
Clean.
Okay, then
I got it mixed up.
I just got the numbers mixed up.
I just want to point that out.
I'm under
Alright
attack!
then, well, even from those ones though. As far as
suck on that!
Marvel Universe stuff, right? Comics, so that seems to be more of a bigger
get
focus.
spotted! Let's get over
Since
there!
that's like at least half their movies at this point.
Sire!
Except Sire.
I saw it.
Warning. There we go. Yeah, so any baseball that you
Check your aim!
Throwing flag!
I would say
You gotta get going!
the Doctor Strange people, the Multiverse of Madness is something like, so that's certainly something that's super out there. The WandaVision series, though, wondering how that is going to be, though, because again, since Vision is dead in this one, so people are thinking that House of M kind of thing going with it, though. I was always more of a fan of DC and Marvel, so it's not exactly doing more of a because apparently a thing that Scarlet Witch
Get the hell home!
things that she personally wants, and as a lot, I would say that it was like a show that ends at
Hostile
really
eliminated.
bad
Damn it!
I won't use because I pretty much an Obi-Wan series is more or less a Star Wars thing that was ever
Time to go!
more than Episode 7 is pretty much an Obi-Wan trilogy series, and that was always one that people always kept saying that Pewdiepie was coming or Gregor was on set or whatever, and they always put out bullshit, so that's why I wasn't really buying this one. But then D23 came in, and it's like, oh, pleasant surprise, it actually was what happened.
Yeah. Oh.
But as far as it, they say that they're only still for, only with writing on it, though, they haven't really gone to production yet. So, I would say, still looking forward to it, and it's actually still surprising that Ewan McGregor can pretty much, even after 10 years, still look no older than he was in 2005.
Like Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves actually looks like, yeah, he's barely even, well, his age is way more noticeable, but it's not really, like, super drastic, though. But in Ewan's case, it looks like he hasn't even aged a day.
Indeed.
I would say he's more comparable to Will Smith in that regard, like how someone can go for many years, though, and somehow still not even look like they've aged a day.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of the stalemate, between Sony and Disney, I've heard some pretty interesting news. Long story short, the reason why Disney is staying silent and not doing much, if anything, because companies like Apple and Amazon are interested in buying Sony Pictures because as I would channel Yoda, begun has the streaming wars. Amazon
And honestly,
and
I would say from that,
Amazon and
sure.
and Apple are liking a bit of a studio for their movies and shows, and they're eyeing companies like Lionsgate and Sony Pictures. I had to be specific. Sony Pictures, not Sony itself. Sony Pictures.
I'm
Because
aware of that,
it's very
though.
it's pretty easy to get the two mixed up. I just want to get it out there.
So I
Yeah.
would say for it, I'll still wait to see if any official word comes from that, though, because since when they end up going. But even then, I'm not really sure, though, as to how that's going to be, because admittedly, Apple getting involved with streaming, though, is certainly an oddball case, because usually a lot of these streaming ones usually have something that they were bringing with the table. When Netflix started the whole streaming thing, they were just bringing movies in general.
Yeah.
But then by the time like things like Amazon Prime started, it was more about focusing on original stuff, though, on there, or usually just having other properties to bring in, like Amazon with The Boys, Hulu, I'm pretty sure that they have their own stuff, etc. And so for Apple going in, is just sort of like they're just like, we're making brand new original stuff on this.
Every company
that
has their stake in the streaming thing is coming up with their own shows and movies and stuff.
I mean, they occasionally have loose adaptations of other stuff, but yeah, it looks more or less that they've going with their own thing, though.
Yeah.
But as far as if Spider-Man ended up switching to their hands, I wouldn't really put faith
the rights for Spider-Man is not transferable.
negotiable.
It's not transferable. So in other words, if Sony Pictures gets bought, he goes back to Marvel. That's why Disney is just sitting around doing nothing, just watching the bidding war. Yeah, there's a bidding war between between Apple and Amazon over Sony Pictures. And according to inside, and I've listened to a couple of insiders, including the one who actually reported on the deal or purchase of Fox by Disney.
I've seen him though.
Yeah, and he's pretty confident that it will be by the end of the year or by 2020, early 2020, if by my guess. Which I have to admit, I did not see that coming.
I'm just curious to see if that actually would be, though. I mean, yeah, I will admit that Sony Pictures has certainly had a few rough years, though. But even still, though, if
they're smaller than I want to point out that they're smaller and less successful than Fox, than 21st Century Fox. I just want to point that out.
Well, 21st Century Fox was pretty much its own thing by that point. At that point, for Fox, anything that was defined that was not its news network was pretty much that, though. Where Sony is
21st Century Fox is still part of was part of like all the Fox stuff. Just want to point that out.
Yeah, I knew they were, but at that point, the movie studio was really the thing they were most known for. Whereas Sony more or less has their hand in everything. They're in music. They obviously have their own successful gaming console. They've always been in movies for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Pretty much having their hand in a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, even still,
I just also want to point out that most of Sony's movies and like animated and live action, they kind of suck. Most of them suck. That's why they didn't do so well. Like they had some valuable property, some like IP stuff, but the movies that they make, Sony Pictures, like Slender Man, MIB International, they're just like for every good movie that they happen to release or made, 2 or 3 more bad movies are made under their watch.
You're starting to now sound like the sort of people who think that brands are actually what make things rather than the people behind them, when really it's just that they just got bad people working on them, though. In the case of Disney's case, though, I mean, really just because a lot of their directors that they grab in there, well, one, because Disney's the biggest sort of media company out there. But for me, I can't really ever say for that, like where when you said that Spider-Verse being a fluke, I could hardly call the people who did the Lego movie and were originally supposed to do Solo before the production issues that movie had were already considered for that. I can't consider someone with like that who have very much experience in that specific thing being an accident.
I actually had to reassure my brother that it's a stalemate, and that Apple and Amazon are interested in buying Sony Pictures. I had to make that thing with him.
I just only wonder with those companies what exactly use they would get out of those ones, considering they apparently all make their own stuff. So it would sort of
like I said,
like,
they lack a studio. They lack a studio. They lack distribution for releasing their stuff into theaters. Sony Pictures has that opportunity.
I mean, it's just a matter of just wondering there. Well, in the case of Amazon, they definitely would. But for Apple, this is more of like completely new territory for them, since really they didn't really focus on making their own
which is why it's more likely for them to buy Sony Pictures. They lack a lot of their stuff, so so they look into companies like A24, Lionsgate, and Sony Pictures. I just want to repeat that.
Yeah, I know. Amazon has A24 though. That's there.
Wait,
but yeah, just saying,
Amazon
Apple,
has
I could see
A24?
that-
Amazon has A.
Yeah, I believe it's. I think so. Yeah, it was them. Who I saw have them.
Something wrong with
So
your mic?
that's what they're. Yeah, I know. That was just a brief mic issue. But in the case of Apple, yeah, I could see more of them having that because since they're brand new to this game, so they're just going to want to use their freaking multi-billion-dollar status as trying to go and get whatever talent that they can.
I'm absolutely sure they're just they'll be more likely to buy Sony than Amazon, because I'm sure that Amazon has more of the stuff that has more stuff in relation to
Yeah, Amazon is firmly established. They've already released several of their own movies. Even if they're not theatrically released, they absolutely could if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Whereas for Apple, they're like completely new to this.
Here are a couple of interesting things. You've heard that Bob Iger, the CEO of
Disney, yes, I'm aware of that.
He resigned from Apple's board, so to prevent any conflict of interest between Apple TV's release in November and Disney Plus. He also released an article on the Antec, I believe, about his experience with about his friendship with Steve Cook.
Yeah, I know. It was actually a whole book that he released recently.
Oh, yeah, I
mainly became aware of it.
Yeah, I have heard of
because
that.
of people taking the George Lucas quote, which I found so surprising that got super spread because I'm like, that quote is like over 4 years old. We've known about that for like as long as it was around.
Yeah, and George Lucas likes The Last Jedi. What seems to be the...
Well, he so far liked every subsequent film. He just really didn't like Force Awakens for, I would say, based on his thing. I can understand why, because he felt, though, that it didn't really do what he wanted, which he said he always liked to use, like, new ships, new planets, though, etc. Just in general, a whole bunch of new stuff for that. So I'm like, I guess I could see
technically,
from that
technically, Jakku,
that.
some of the First Order stuff, they're new, technically, but just because it retrends some stuff doesn't mean it's bad.
I mean, he always is allowed to have his opinions, and I don't really take a creator saying anything along the lines of just like, I personally didn't like it as being like some super terrible omen. Yeah, he's a human being. He can like or dislike what he wants, though. But again, if it comes to that, though, if you thought that you were looking for what you disliked there, go read his quotes on the EU and everything that was related to that.
I am seeing a really weird glitch right now. I'm like really seeing a weird glitch. I know, mine looks weird. It's just like, my character's just like a physical person, just like puts on a breathing mask and everything.
Yeah.
That is one weird glitch.
Honestly, that's why I always find it stupid when people often want to say, like, oh, the creator doesn't like the thing that was made on a franchise that he created, but ended up is not really associated with now. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So why do these people latch on to a 4-year-old? Why do these people latch on to a 4-year-old quote that he? Yep.
Because one, it was attached to a recently released book by Iger, since he wanted to detail his experiences in that specific regard. And so people, as always with a lot of these news sites, often like to dredge up things as if they were brand new stuff. And again, a lot of them, as much as I usually get like using the terms of not really caring, yeah, it's really just because they were just cashing in for easy paychecks. Yeah. And of course, what better way to get than just get people's rage baits up. And again, that's why
rage bait.
She's ready.
Yeah, rage bait. That's really good. Yeah. Right.
So
I am.
It was always a big. And
oh, it's just the two of us then. Okay. Good thing I'm beginner.
I guess he left.
Don't let your guard
Before,
down.
I was always like, I mean, because based on the quotes I've seen of it, I can understand why exactly he was, why he felt the way it was, though, because it didn't go to the way he was hoping to. But for betrayed, though, even though it was the word that was there,
betrayal.
He really ended up just only
betrayal.
He felt more just looking from it. It seemed like maybe he misused the word and was more just disappointed with it, because even though he knew that they were not obligated, either contractually or otherwise, to do his ideas, it just seemed that he was just only disappointed with, as he said, though, just wasn't really using a whole bunch of new stuff which is his main gripe of it. So for it, I'm like, at least I don't that sounds understandable in my opinion. But again, to try to grudge up this thing as if it's super new clothes is just, I mean, again, I know that we not see it as stupid.
Oh shit! Most interesting news. Kevin Feige, the guy, like the minds behind.
Reloading!
Most likely he's producing it, and then he's going to look for it directly. Which I see a lot of people, especially the ones who are like, oh my god, I don't want to have him working on it, when it's like, you know he's a producer, he's a director, right?
Yeah.
Hence why on it though, it's like, really, it's in the same sort of thing of James Gunn being the producer on Brightburn though. Will he have maybe some creative control over it? I'm not sure. The producer, they obviously hold plenty of authority. But typically when in those circumstances, a lot of people in their jobs tend to leave things, especially storytellers' jobs, mainly to those people. Because look, you're hiring these people to do stuff for you. You're not going to do that if you're going to essentially dictate everything to them. You might as well not even have them at that point.
It's claw. I'll take that.
So hence why for it. I'm honestly totally for it though. I mean, Kevin Feige clearly shows that he's a great executive producer. Nobody in the history of cinema has had anywhere near his level of consistent success. So clearly he really knows how to get movies out on time and on schedule. So really, I would say as far as him, yeah, sure. I would say whatever talent.
I'm looking forward to see how he would do a Star Wars movie and well, as a producer most likely, like you said. It's pretty surprising.
Again, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how exactly he's doing it, though, or at least like how exactly he will be producing for it, though. So yeah, I always say anything sort of big helps. I'm always up for seeing whatever new talent that they end up wanting to go and bring in, though, because again, anything that's fresh there is certainly something I'm willing to be open for.
Yeah.
I mean, I operate on a, if worst case it's bad, okay, sure, but like 2 years from now, it's not like this is a big I think exactly it's that how he described it exactly. His attitudes for it back then, or now, which is against over, at least at the time, not really like has the attitude now that came out that like, hey, I'm gonna get another one of these pretty soon, so it's not really a that big a deal. So I kind of just deal with that same sort of mindset, though.
Good work, people.
Like, if worst case I don't like it, I can wait for that.
Yeah.
I look forward to it too, to see what exactly is there. I mean, obviously, if that's Brie Larson, though, who's just sort of, quote, jokingly tweeting about it, though, as well, though, some people thought, well, if Mike is going in, it's clearly Brie Larson will be, because she hasn't exactly been secretive, but she loves the franchise, though, so yeah. I would say, as far as her going in, I'd be like,
Brie Larson, apparently there's this really, really stupid rumor that Disney has somehow lost confidence in her performance for
yeah,
look who's so dangerous!
But they're totally different.
Right. That was.
Again, there's always a sort of dissolution thing. Like, these people often, whenever these people are like, any day now, Kathleen Kennedy's going to be, like, fired from Lucasfilm. Well, she's going to get fired. They're taking a really long time of doing that.
Yeah, they love to take their time.
So for me, it's just a case of,
especially
like, yeah,
when
we get
she
it, those are
extended her
bullshitting for
contract
clicks.
last
And at this
year.
point, I know that they're bullshitting for clicks, though. There's no way that they're doing this other thing. So again, that's why it's sort of that, even though I know they're doing it for crappy reasons, it doesn't necessarily make it better.
We're all in.
Okay,
Shut the
we're
damn
good.
door.
Yeah, these people have a rage boner against, have a rage boner for Brie Larson.
I'm convinced that half of them end up actually
Get your own store, cheeky bastard.
get that angry for stupid reasons, and the other half of me just really thinks that they don't really much care for it. It's a giant rip.
Oh yeah, like Clarence Owens, like what's his face?
Candace Owens. Sort of like her though, where it's sort of like, yeah, she's saying whatever she has to say in order to get the clip that she wants to, or to make herself seem like she's this ally, like how people pointed out in 2016, how she was always for many progressive outlets, but then all of a sudden went to conservatism when it ended up proving that it could become very lucrative when you join things like that. It's always why I say for YouTubers, it will never cease to amuse me seeing those sort of people often talk about like, oh my god, these companies just do anything for me. Yet you are in a profession that is most notorious for doing whatever it takes for money. And virtually every large platform is doing something explicitly to get money. So Franco has said it, Pewdiepie, has some story of
still a bit of ancient history.
Actively did not like because it made them money.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Pewdiepie, he has refused to rescinding his donation to APL because some of his fans are really worried about that organization. I wonder why.
Somebody good. Reloading.
And yeah, I am just.
I mean, as far as it though, it just comes across that he ends up consistently putting his own foot in his mouth though, and usually just doesn't know how to really react with these things. So hence why
he doesn't have like
does
AR
act,
agents.
he ends up making works.
Yeah, and he is wearing like the cross, that cross on the collar of his shirt.
Yeah, as far as it though, it just finds it just a big, like, I don't even know why you even thought of wearing that though. Again, when it comes to people, we're only left with speculations unless he actually ends up saying word on it though. So for that, I've never really been a Pewdiepie fan though. I've always been aware of him since even from that. I've never really disliked him of it. It was more of just a don't really care for him though. I just started not really. Heads up, Sire. He's certainly done more than enough good though when it comes to and then unfortunately it seemed like he got cold feet when, because originally he actually was going to about like how stuff and was actually really serious about it, but unfortunately he just got cold feet. Yeah, I think something like that though.
Even after the Christchurch shooting, I thought he said he was like.
I remember seeing even his response videos though, where he was actively was trying to get rid of that stuff, but at some point it seems like he, I don't know, I guess he started getting cold feet over it, and it seems even more so after he got married recently. So from that, yeah, he's just a person who I don't really know too much of those to have anything on there. Because it seems like he's just, as far as I'm going though, he's kind of like a more cynical mindset that he's just doing for whatever it is he wants to do. I think it's fine though. I mean, it's not exactly like I don't have to refute it. But for it, I often describe more to him that he's just a person who really just doesn't know how to maneuver these things though, and just ends up sort of just going for whatever his audience is.
I think he's just an idiot at best.
That drone is history.
Oh shit. You're separate? I'm going to you now.
We're good.
And...
Oh, I'm good, though.
They see me!
Now we talk about...
Just trying to find out where to get out of here.
This is just all you'll know. Now plan on
hole!
I don't like Rennie Pitchford. I don't like his behavior.
Enemies on me!
I prefer if he... Like, position and, you know... Maybe go to jail for some things that... I have no intention behind the game.
There's a claw over here. Yeah,
weapon marked!
Ammo.
Thanks. And what about you? About Borderlands 3? I just have no.
I played Borderlands 2 though, and I honestly super big on it though. So from it, I wasn't really having reason to have it other than just like my friendly just like using it together. But really, outside of that, I wasn't really So, of course, I can understand why people still went with the purchase. And again, this is the sort of movie that game that really wasn't going to end up failing anyway. It was a sort of too big to fail kind of situation. So from it, it was just sort of saying that just have it anyway. And as other people do these things, that it was just that amount of work I went into it though. So they just decided, let's just end up having this go along. This is something I was going to say. Boycott it.
And it kind of feels like I'm kind of like boycotting.
Your specific point, sure. I mean, I always say we would want to work here.
Shit, I'm being shot at.
Done now, yes? Reloading!
Yeah, it's really pretty disappointing. Here's something pretty funny. I tried out Jump Force because of my gamepad. I heard it was a bit of a one hell of a dumpster fire.
What was?
Jump Force. That crossover fighting game by yeah, don't worry, it's right, that's how I started me over.
Alright, let's go. Open the door.
Oh! Shit! Good timing there.
Reloading!
Oh, so you tried out the campaign mode for Pewdiepie Gears 5? You really seem to like it.
I've already played all the modes that are happening, and so far I've been loving all of them so far. But again, this is like my third favorite series.
Team, I am proud! Good work!
Nice. I got one corner thing. MVP. Let's see. So, have you tried anything? Just curious. Or... DB launcher. Looks about, okay. Oh, have you tried out, Battlefront 2's, co-op mode?
My battery since they died.
Oh. Have you tried out Battlefront 2's co-op mode?
Not co-op mode yet. I've only played the Felucia map as well as tried out the Clone Commandos. Since usually I just want to, because Capital Supremacy is the mode I like playing the most as of late. But I have to try that one. But based on what I've heard of everyone, it's been universally loved by so far everybody. I have yet to hear any.
I actually tried out co-op mode. I love it. Haven't tried out Republic the Clone Commando though.
Oh, he's a lot of fun, but I feel like his middle ability, the one that gives you extra durability and health per damage, that one is I think is in need of a dramatic nerf though.
All right, so how do I enable host? Okay. Okay. I'm trying to figure out this horde stuff. Let's go intermediate.
You kicked me out of it though.
Ah! Okay, let me invite you. I really am sorry.
No, you're fine.
I hate it when that happens. Did not mean to. I swear. Where are you? There you are. What? Sorry, am getting over a pretty nasty cold. I think I had the guy from somewhere at Vanex or from my dad. Speaking of Vanex, it happened. I went to Vanex like weeks. It happened like weeks ago. Been there for all 3 days of it. Really enjoyed it. Spent most of it playing D&D. Tom Holland was there.
Oh, I'm glad at least you enjoyed it, though.
Yeah, Tom Holland was there.
Who?
Tom Holland, current
Yeah, I
actor for
saw
Spider-Man.
on there, though.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Spider-Man's gonna be back in the MCU. It's kind of inevitable at this point. I'm just saying. Alright, I'm looking at some quick news. I swear I remember reading some news about it, and I kind of forgot about it. Let me look it on Polygon real quick. Anyway, I tried Dark Force since it was on Game Pass for free. People are not kidding about it being a dumpster fire. I barely played it for about an hour before I call it quits. That is how bad it is. It's particularly it's funny when I accidentally did a mirror match between my original character, Donut Steel. I really should have picked that instead of like Afro Blade. And well. Donut Steel. You get it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I got you.
Alright, I'm gonna host a game. And we're gonna do Survivor, and he's gonna have more health.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, if I'm gonna be Jack, because I swear to God, I got about like half the time, most of the time, I got MVP as Jack.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I don't really use Jack.
Yeah. Have you seen the new trailer for the Jedi Fallen Order game? It looks.
I did. I saw it. Earlier today. I thought it was good though. From what I saw of it though. I mean, it didn't really blow me away though. But it's just it was a. Yeah, it looks like it's still going to be good though.
I'm pretty confident it'll be good, and although
I think it will be too.
You know what's really stupid? I kept on seeing people saying that Bioware is dead because Andromeda didn't do well, and you know, and although Anthem has been pretty slow with their updates, but it's been rather decent. Have you tried the new stuff for Anthem yet?
I still have to get back into that.
I still need to finish the main missions and stuff. Sad face. Oh, my brother has been playing this game called Remnant from the Ashes, like religiously. It's that it was a new game that came out late last month, I believe. It's like Dark Souls, but as a third-person shooter. It's an interesting it's an interesting game. Alright, I'm starting the game. If both of us die, that's game over. And since I'm Jack, yeah. Alright. Looking over for some news. Oh yeah. Last of Us Part 2. I've really looked into the latest trailer. What about you?
Which trailer?
Last of Us Part 2?
I never really was into the first game though, so I avoided the trailer for it since it's a game I'm not going to be able to play since I don't own a PlayStation. But based on what I'm hearing from everyone, I'm really glad that you guys are looking forward to it.
Yeah. I really don't have much of a stake in it, to be honest. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just glad that people are just universally being happy about something, so I'm not really gonna complain.
Yeah, me neither. Alright, you're gonna drag the fabricator along?
Yeah, just gonna drag it over here.
Oh! Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk are gonna be part of the Disney Plus theme for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is really neat.
Yeah, I already know that they're already Disney's on the lookout to go and look for specifically a Pakistani actress for Miss Marvel. So it's like, all right, so that's already looking good on that front. From that, we don't really know any details on the other ones as well, though. From that, so I'm just kind of curious how those will go, though.
Yeah.
Like, for example, is She-Hulk going to be sort of a lawyer-ish show, sort of like what Daredevil was, though, but maybe focus more on that, or even just none of that entirely.
I wonder
so
what,
what
they're gonna do with the Netflix characters. Are they gonna do
Time's up. Enemy
of
reinforcements.
it, replace them with different actors, or what?
Well, they don't really have to do that. The stuff is the Netflix shows was connected. They just didn't really acknowledge that.
I have no idea why. I honestly couldn't get into Netflix shows.
You're gonna rush us! Only 2 left!
We haven't ever been told exactly what the story was behind that. It wasn't because of lack of viewership. Those were like really watched shows. So I have to imagine it was a rights issue, really. That's the only conclusion I can come to.
More likely financial issues.
Yeah. Although with She-Hulk getting their start in TV, I do have to admit it's very ironic because television was actually how she got her start to begin with.
Wait, what?
Okay, here's the story though, as for how it is though. See, when CBS ended up debuting The Incredible Hulk, the TV show with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby, as Movie Bob ended up recounting the history with it.
Yeah.
See, apparently another TV show that aired around the same time, that was called The $6 Million Man, found very high success with a spin-off series called The Bionic Woman.
Oh yeah,
so
I remember
that.
And the rest is history. And they decided to we need to
Yeah,
come up with
She-Hulk.
by Marvel.
So they came up with that, so that way CBS would just be able to create a character, and then that would cause issues for them, though. So I just find it most ironic that a TV show is how she starts in, though, when a TV show was what catapulted her existence to begin with.
Ow!
Yeah,
Whoa! You might want to pick me up. I'm kind of down. If I
Where are you? Okay, now
AI soldiers.
Target's down!
Alright, so you're gonna be Kate?
So yeah, I found that one short though. But Moon Knight's case, I don't know how that one should go on there. Because it's like,
Moon Knight's
as far as
right?
practical terms,
Moon Knight's,
he's more of just a mid-tier Marvel character, at least from what I know of it. And practically, he's sort of like Batman in some sense, though, or at least the closest thing they have to it. So I kind of wonder if that's
I
maybe
think it's
what the angle they're gonna go
Darkhawk
with,
that's
which
closest to Batman.
Yeah, but I mean like of characters that people actually know.
Alright.
Or at least just like right off the bat are aware of.
Yeah.
Alright, let's
Alright, who
rearm
else?
and regroup!
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's a given.
For that, I know that that's definitely a given, and I know that the I'm trying to remember what his name, because I always suck with names though. The guy who was from Civil War, who ended up just who caused the downfall of the Avengers in that one though. What was his name again? I always suck with remembering names. Zemos, yeah. I believe that that's the show that he will be reappearing as,
Yeah.
so it'll probably be a very big thing for that though once the show ends up hitting.
Time's up! Here they come!
also-
But
So what if-
ironically, it seems that the other the Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Marvel shows have gotten a bit more coverage and more knowledge of it than any of the shows like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Woo! Nice one!
Why's that?
I mean, maybe because I do think though that maybe that's stuff that is more in the future possibly, or just because it was maybe just something that was more out of left field, so people were more having fun of it.
And there's the Eternals, second Movie,
You're a
Black
lifesaver.
Widow. Yeah, Black Widow.
And there's that as well. I know that the coach already came from it though. So definitely we'll see how all of that ends up going. Don't realize
What I miss?
I'm gonna say don't because I think you never do it. If you see anyone down, just save them if you see anyone down, just save them because I'm trying to get the extra 12 people I need to finish off that medal.
Alright, like, enemies down or someone you need to revive?
Both actually, because enemies down I also need for executions.
We've got 30 seconds to regroup.
Got it. Alright, healing you. What else have they announced? Oh, more of The Mandalorian. For Disney Plus from Star Wars.
They showed more of that one though. I'm still more for someone who's just a bit off with it though. I'm just more of someone who's just I'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
though.
you're familiar with you're more familiar with the current continuity of Star Wars than I am.
Time's up. Here they come.
Yeah, as far as this is all brand new stuff though, and it looks like it's going to focus more on the immediate aftermath of what happened in the wow, this is amazing.
You're hurt, but not bad.
They're pretty annoying.
So, from that, how it went ended up doing, especially because it seems as if that a lot of the galaxy had a lot of control over it. And so, especially with the became illegal in
Eat some food and die.
Oh, that was in the books? That's what they said in the current book?
Yeah, it was, I can't remember if it was or if it was one of the other ones leading up to the Force Awakens, but yeah, the New Republic officially stated that bounty hunting was illegal as a profession, so bounty hunting was really more to the fringes of the galaxy to continue work. So, and especially the bounty field is what part of all the bounties in the galaxy end up being disbanded. So that's where is the main thing that makes me like, oh, I'm really curious how that goes. To see if we can get more of a TV show appearance on all of that.
Right. Oh. I just remember now. Do you know some of the people who heard about some of the people
30
who
seconds till enemy reinforcements.
There were a couple of people. I need to type this down. I should put down a warning.
Can always use more.
We're going to talk about sexual assault. Yeah, if you don't want to hear it, that's fine.
You can just say in the chat, since if you're typing and saying it, you can kind of just do one or the other.
Yeah. I didn't mean to. I don't want to be.
Which topic is this one?
One of the people involved, like with Not in the Woods, was speaking about like sexual assault,
Which person? Or like who's it that?
Adam from the studio that did Night in the Woods, where Sony has told some details about it. Like,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, do you know the name? Do you know the name? I forgot the name.
It's not the name, but I think I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, he committed suicide a week later.
Yeah, I was aware of that story from it though. I mean, yeah, just shit like that is always very sad to deal with. Always because like definitely there's just a whole sea of things that kind of feel like I'm not
Another person has been accused of sexual assault is exactly the composer of the Air Force series, Jeremy Shore.
Yeah, I saw that one as well though. It was really shit show to go that hard. I mean, again, it's not so much that I believe it though, because the fact that looking at him, it certainly seems like he's in the first best position to do so. As far as the things as to why I don't really end up usually doubting survivors of it, is squarely just on the basis of the mental spirit for it though. I mean, when it's in a basket mentality that who has done one of the most loved games ever, I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. He's already going to have a lot of influence just off that, from that. So hence why, really, for me, it's never really been an issue or sort of dilemma as to are people telling the truth or not, because it's not essentially that people accused are like Joes who nobody's ever even heard of. Even if it does suck, though, but yeah, I'm really hoping that Bethesda ends up replacing him, though. But considering how deep in 6, it could be possible that plenty of his music was already made by then.
Needed this.
I think that it would be easier to replace the music with something else. It's not really intricate part of the game as much as compared to the other parts of the game, like graphics, animations, gameplay, writing.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, depending on how much of his work was done, it's pretty fair to even think, though, that at this point, it could be that any of the music we hear, though, was probably already largely done by then.
Yeah,
since usually the voice acting and a lot of that stuff usually ends up getting done a bit earlier, though, than usual. Hence why the people who do that stuff usually are the first ones who end up finishing. Typically.
It's very depressing.
So yeah, it's just from there though. I mean, a lot of them are just names who I personally didn't know, but apparently were pretty big names though throughout the industry from that. And yeah, it just was a giant shit show to really see from all that.
I'm gonna look up the guy's name that that was part of Night in the Woods Allegations. Ooh, hey. Yeah, with designer. Okay, Alec Holocall. Zoe Quinn, Alicia's assault and abuse from developer Alec Holowok. Holowka. I don't know how to pronounce that guy's last name. Yeah, after the studio cuts ties with him, took his own life. And people want to get and assholes. Yeah, you see that assholes
Reject destroyed.
are accusing Zoe Quinn of basically.
Which is, I always have to admit, very strange to see that he was actually one of the people who was on the side of giving him sympathy more than anything, even if obviously he was traumatized from it.
Yeah, because Alec has a lot of issues.
I'm coming!
But ultimately,
it's again another thing though, where unfortunately one of his shitty qualities that he ends up having. I mean, again, I can't really speak out of them.
Now, I have some pretty qualities.
Even if I
have some pretty qualities myself.
Honestly, I would say though, from it though, even if there are reasons for it though, that I don't like I still remember,
I'm down.
like one of them though, I can't remember what it was, but I remember seeing, where they ended up talking about,
oh shit, I'm down.
Oh shit.
You're on your own, sorry.
Was trying to go and grab your dog tags, but I guess the silence.
Oh shit. Oh. Nice! I got an achievement. Sad face. It's really sad state of affairs. Hang on, I gotta. Okay, I gotta if they happen to be kicked out of my squad, I'll invite you back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just feel really bummed out about this. I mean, it's a constant problem of, sexual assault, rape.
Yeah, I get that.
A lot of it is caused by people that they know, that they trust. It's not caused by, some stranger hiding in some creepy stranger
I
hiding
know
in a
about
dark
all
alley.
that. It's always things like that, though. Yeah, that's why for it, I never can blame any of them, though, based on whatever mindsets they even go into.
And the reason why they didn't come out so soon because, you know, long story short, fear of retaliation.
I mean, yeah, that's the biggest reason why a lot of them didn't speak out, and why, especially as of recently, a lot of them have now just started stepping forward, though. I mean, it's great that certainly that they're doing that, though. But it's honestly, for me, understanding as to why they didn't come out earlier. I mean, if I were in their position, I couldn't exactly blame them.
So I'm. It feels like I'm at a bit of a loss for words. It's always shitty.
Yeah, these things are always just shit fest to go and deal with. Hey, again, it's always I never like.
I honestly cannot imagine
hearing any of these stories.
I cannot imagine the trauma they endured.
I know Sam Maggs has been pretty open with her experiences, though, with an abusive partner.
And sometimes they don't even realize what had occurred to them until later.
Yeah, there's that too, though.
Oh, fucking damn it! All right, we're doing okay. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. You've heard about the remake for Link's Awakening? It's out on the Switch now. Link's Awakening. It's a remake of the game from back in the early 90s on the original Game Boy.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of people who have been talking about it, though, and I'm really happy that they're getting to experience that. I've never really played a straight-up Zelda game aside from the original one that was obviously for the NES, and played a little bit of...
The latest one that I played on top of my head, the latest one I played was Twilight Princess for the GameCube.
Can't really say I have really too much of those ones, but even still, I just again have that mindset of like, well, I'm really happy that a lot of people have been re-experiencing a game that they love so much.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, you heard more stuff about Final Fantasy VII, the remake of Final Fantasy VII. It's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, SNES, the Sega Genesis consoles, as well as also the PlayStation 2. The original PlayStation really wasn't too much there. I played like the original Gran Turismo games. I remember that I used to play those quite a bit. Those, as well as also the Metal Gear Solid. But really, I did
never played the original. I never played the original Metal Gear Solid, or even the remake a couple of years later.
Yeah, the Twin Snakes, though. It was essentially the Twin Snakes was a remake of the Metal Gear Solid, but it added a lot of the mechanics that were introduced in Metal Gear Solid 2. So things such as the suppressed tranquilizer. Enemies who call in through radios. You can go into first. You can shoot in first person. Plenty of things like that. Yeah. I honestly still say I prefer the normal PlayStation version because I feel like it was just better that way, especially the Ocelot battle where you couldn't shoot in first person. I felt that was the better version of that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Metal Gear Solid, have you seen one of Kojima's tweets? A lot of people seem to like he took they didn't like the implications, like he is taking all the credit that the other studios have made.
Because the thing was, his English was a mistranslated tweet.
Did we come up with a plan?
That I have heard.
See,
I've got points.
His original Japanese tweet actually did address everyone there, but apparently his English, though, because again, English is not his first language, apparently there must have been a mistranslation where he ended up saying for himself. I buy that. You often see this in a lot of anime dubs as well, where while some of it is intentional, a lot of it ends up just being mistranslations from the normal language, because mistranslations are, it's really hard to be fully transparent with them, and so, occasionally because Japanese has so many different areas to it, especially as to how you address it. So very frequently what you can mean is entirely change based on context. So it's sort of a thing where I wasn't surprised, but I still was like, man, it must have really sucked though when you met one thing, but it turned out to be something entirely different.
Yeah. And when the game has gone go,
That's it.
Yes, actually has credited his made sure to learn any like mistakes or mistranslation. And even showed
I think that's why he's been doing that a lot more, because since he noticed what mistake he did, he just wanted to make sure that he ended up being more transparent with that, because he was like, oh shit, I mistranslated with that. I mean, it happens, and especially a lot of the people who are bilingual in the industry, like Jennifer Scroll, I cannot pronounce her last name, so I apologize for mispronouncing her last name. Who works for me, and she even said for it that she also has had she especially understands things like that where mistranslation can occur, and then you end up unfortunately offending someone because you said something you didn't mean to say. Or at least the English version of what wasn't
Wasted ya!
And Japanese is especially hard because it's actually one of the hardest languages in the world now. So even much more so. Yeah, it's actually considered one of the hardest next to English and
I'm kind of surprised if that's one of the hardest languages.
Because it really is much different because there's so many different areas of the language that's there. Yeah. So very frequently.
I actually want to say because anime, the influx of
Let's give it
anime,
to Bell.
it's kind of surprising.
For me.
So hence why it was something that I didn't. Why even though when I saw it though, I was like, shit, that looks bad though. But then when I was because it was even I first learned that through Jay Ingram, who's one of the community managers for Anthem now, where he even said that someone created that that it was a translation. So I'm like, that makes sense though, but unfortunately a lot of people are not. I think at this point most people would have thought that it was a translation, but a lot of people unfortunately really missed that.
Yeah, it's easy to miss that, and I kind of
No, it's good that for that. I don't think it's wrong. Yeah, you could just for him to say if that was what he was originally.
To be fair, maybe the studio of himself is a tad bit.
I mean, I kind of just say, sure, I can see some of the sense of that. You can see it that way. I just honestly just feel like sure of this thing. That's what he wants to call it, rather than some other thing, basically.
It's kind of a shape, sorry.
This looks dangerous.
I mean, it's fine, though. I just always say you can think what you want with it, though. I think he just called it that, more so just from simplicity, and just because he just wanted something to sort of have his landmark, essentially.
Yeah.
Because after all, most developers can't even hope to have gotten their own company, let alone be a He's pretty much just a unicorn of the industry in almost every sense.
Good work, people.
A unicorn in the industry, that's something.
Like, basically, someone like him, he could pretty much make his entire, like, as far as, like, as much as SC Game Dev said that an idea person doesn't exist in the industry, Kojima could pretty much be that his whole life and be set for life.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
I mean, because after all, the guy clearly knows how to be able to sell his games, though, and especially because he can get people involved in
I love this achievement.
Go
on, Alien. You get achievement if all three characters are in the same decontamination and over the soap.
Alright, so I got an achievement for that, so that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Copy that. Steel yourselves, people. This isn't over.
Yeah, that was a weird achievement. That was a weird achievement. Is that for me though?
I was sure I didn't really read what the actual title was, just what I got
Flank
it
'em!
for.
I don't have a lot of ammo for this thing, so if you find some ammo for the Masuda Mark 1,
The Mark
On a
one.
drone!
Yeah, I'll be sure to.
Showstop!
Try unlock!
I keep up the game to tag enemies.
Eliminated!
Blast another drone!
Heads up, Sire.
Come on, step up.
Oh,
Yeah. I forgot one thing. You ever heard what okay, I'm kind of
Kotaku, yes, I saw your message on there. Okay, just keep it in mind, Connor.
Yeah.
Just because I don't respond to it doesn't mean I don't see it. It's usually just because I'm busy or I was just
okay,
occupied with
understand.
something
I
else.
just want to make sure. Should I put up a warning for this? Because it's still kind of gross. Like really.
I mean, it's sort of like it's considered a stream on here where it's pretty much understood
we're
what we
getting
talk
split
about,
up.
so it's not exactly.
I just
bad
want to
thing
put up the
for you to
warning
bring it up.
just to be
Good we
safe.
come all.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Warning. Mentions of fiction, no porn between
under my shield.
underage characters. Like, I had to say out loud, you know, just to for me to say it. Just
Taking a
yeah. Kotaku did a really stupid thing by like not only posting the article about you know, the fictional porn stuff between underage characters from like Harry Potter and Pokemon, also showing explicit pictures and gifs. If memory serves me right, I did not want to see that. I really.
It's strange though that Schreier hasn't commented because he would have already said something about it though as well.
Yeah,
I know that you certainly saw it. I don't think that you didn't say anything on it. I'm just saying it's strange though how I'm not seeing anyone talk about it. When I would have heard, when it seems like this should be a firestorm at
Hey,
this
we're
point.
pretty spread out.
It's kind of a firestorm. People are
Incoming
on their
target!
asses. Like,
Found some supplies.
there's probably a good reason why most people don't trust
Reload!
anyone from Kotaku because of shit like this.
Look at a drone!
And I do sympathize for them back during Gamergate.
Ammo for me!
It's just that they're just really incompetent. Like, nearly all of them. Even Jason is pretty
Let's not
incompetent.
split up for too long.
No, he's confident in his reporting. He's the one who actually said a lot of the good news and stuff. It's just I would say
He
though,
sensationalizes
that
a lot of things. I just want to make that clear.
Got another!
So then, yeah, their issue is more of a how he presents it, not really actually even reporting on it.
Yeah. And, oh god, I remember reading like a comment of his that says like he wouldn't want to live in a world without billionaires.
That's
Yeah,
all
it's
of
like,
us.
Well,
Wow.
I understand as for that though, because as far as people wanting to address the wealth inequality that exists in the country, I fully get that, but at the same time, it does for me
This
come across
ammo's mine!
as this sort of air that a lot of young players feel like some really good type of skill in it, which for me is just something that you need to put more about. No. That's just a really stupid thing to do. And Ford is also the big corporations that very few people can even try to manage. I would say the reward is simply worth it.
Science
Yeah.
pulling someone
Do I
away!
think that there are lower employees that should have paid more? Absolutely. But for it though, I kind of feel like as with, I think his name is like David Gaffo, who's one of the who created the Twisted Metal series.
And
where
God of
he was
War.
saying about roles though, like, yeah, and God of War. When he was saying, like, in reference to QA though, saying that yes, while I like how he's hired games for hired roles for both, and said that while a lot of that is important, people putting QA in reference to I couldn't remember what position he compared it to, said it's just straight up pandering bullshit, which I kind of feel is the same way when everything people say on it though. Yes, janitors are important, but let's not try to pretend that janitors are these like
This should
people
keep
that
me
you
in the fight.
absolutely could not get different
Threat
of.
neutralized. We're good to go.
And I remember that Game Over 30 tried to be
Like, do I think that Amazon
was
should pay a lot of
constructive.
their
Was constructive.
employees
Was
more? Absolutely.
We're getting split up.
yeah. I remember.
But I don't really think they're that far to
Yeah, I remember Game Over 30 did his best to be constructive to Jason over something, and he ended up being blocked by him.
Oh, I saw that a long time ago. Yeah,
It wasn't a long time ago. It was like pretty recently.
Oh, I know how to use this one!
Yeah, I'd say I saw the post when he did. That was actually quite a while ago.
Yeah, it's. I'm just like gonna like block or something. And like, just like live on my time. I really don't want to see.
Come on, step up!
Again, though, well, criticism is not really handled by most people, if I'm to be totally honest. Even I'm not exactly that great at handling it.
I have a tendency to talk back to people, like especially if you were idiots or like jackasses. And then I wonder why I get kicked out groups because, you know, they say I'm being disrespectful or something. I only see the disrespectful because I really don't like or I think you are being idiots. It's also
Understood.
it's also the way my brother has, like, my brother and I don't like,
Good job,
really don't
kids.
like idiots. You get
Yeah,
Never
I
let
can
me get
understand
this
why.
close. Over! Already?
Stalking
Okay,
up.
I'm outside!
Alright, hopefully he closes that
Just a
thing.
moment.
That's all of us! Seal her up!
We hold them here! Do not let a single one through!
black thing.
Oh, fuck. Get
I
off.
am pulling someone away!
I'm reloading!
Actually looking forward to the other world, like video, and not alongside more, but like
Yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking for the new concept, and I really want to see what it has a
Come on!
It'll be the first game that I really looked to in a while.
That's a wrap, team! Let's go!
and there's Speedball. Speedball came out like last month. People say it's like a successor to Bioware games, and a couple people said that Bioware is dead. Really? Really? It's because people left and because they're like Andromeda hasn't done too well, and maybe Anthem. Anthem has like, I looked over at the financial report, like the sales. Anthem up to this point from August, surprisingly sold well, and I could have a think maybe it's because being like Iron Man has quite a bit of appeal, in spite of the quality, in spite of the issues they had to launch.
Again, it's always a thing where media ends up being widely disjointed from what the actual population is, though.
Yeah.
That's why you see so many instances of where it seems like if you were to just listen to Say Young, yeah, you would think that he resembles all gamers, and yet you actually go and turn on a game and go, wait, so shouldn't this be
I was
completely
pretty
not
I
working?
had to admit I was a little harsh towards Anthem as well, and I got into an argument with someone online over it. I asked her, so why did Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age Inquisition has gotten so many good reviews compared to Andromeda and Anthem?
I think probably because they had, they had better launches, though. There wasn't really any sort of launch issues to where they were more of things that were more closer to the core of it than anything else.
Yeah.
Because like Anthem itself was actually for the most part still a really good game, though, even despite its hiccups. I mean, it was just really the launch though that a lot of people had, because when I see people who actually were playing the game though, like after all those got resolved,
a lot of people love
happy
the
with
flying.
it.
I really do love the flying. Could it would it do its
Not so much the flying, since you can't do that, but more of the jump, the double jump mechanic with it. But between that, the gunplay is really solid. A lot of people just end up liking the environments and just the general feeling.
It's just the
of the Nexus.
Bioware has released a blog post or two about what they're gonna do their update stuff by season rather than by acts. good choice because they've been behind some of the stuff, and they decided, well, we gotta restructure it to make it more like seasonal for Apex Legends, and yeah.
So yeah, I would say for it though that it's more of something that I think will just get better with it though.
Yeah,
I mean,
like with
again,
No Man's
I've never
Sky
seen-
and Rainbow Six, I believe, and Battlefront 2.
They'll just go with all those games where eventually it'll just end up repairing its
And
reputation over
here's
time.
something
Heck, even the Old Republic was that way.
Yeah, do you want to hear something that do you want to hear something that I pointed out? Do you think traditional reviews
What?
might be a little pointless for these live service games? Because they have a
That
tendency
what would be?
traditional games because wherever the reviews have pointed out issues, they tend to be resolved rather in a short time.
I mean, that's just more or less just how it always is. And again, a lot of people tend to not really remember, though, as to a lot of these things for
Yeah,
it. Like, keep in mind, even just like two console generations ago, 30 megabytes was considered a lot of space. We have to use that to put that in perspective.
Oh, yeah. And I actually had to tell people, like, you have to be patient with, Anthem and stuff because I was
Because a lot of people don't know is that a lot of this stuff, though, is that it requires much more memory, which has a lot more room for error, though. And again, these people tend to think that's not really a valid excuse, when no, it is, though. A lot of the stuff that games do now, games in the PS2 era couldn't even possibly dream of doing that. Anthem's sort of travel by environment, you couldn't even try that. Like, literally, even for the Batmobile mechanic for Batman Arkham Knight, it was impossible with the 360 engine because Rocksteady was trying to do that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that people think, though, that previous console generations could, no, they couldn't. And you're just having, like, some really tight nostalgia goggles if you think that it could. Because if it was, you would have seen games doing that very thing.
Weren't people complaining about, some people complaining about how the next Dragon Age game would have some sort of live service things, like...
Because again, people
technically,
are...
they have a multiplayer. Dragon Age Inquisition has a multiplayer. Which technically
because when always with live service, it's when people try to always do these huge freak out things, it's always because, again, people like Sterling have effectively tried to use those words sort of in the way that you speak of the boogeyman, basically, even though live service is really just a catch-all term that means more or less just we support this game past launch and we sell stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
Again, it always just frustrates me, as I've said for the other people who also brought that point up, is that I always get it's both amusing and but also just as frequently annoying with how gamers often try to act like they pay so much money for what they do, when it's like, no, gaming is one of the cheapest hobbies you can get into.
Speaking of paying money, I saw like an opinion article on Polygon that says like $60 for a game doesn't make sense anymore.
It really doesn't, but at this point, though, I would say that I don't even...
Considering the implication of what they're trying to go for, I feel that they want it cheaper. I haven't read the article. It's just this weird feeling I have. Might be wrong. I'm gonna have to check against my better judgment.
Again, always when it comes to these gaming pundits, though, I always get annoyed, though, because how expensive they act like their hobbies are, when in reality, it's nowhere even near that much. I mean, considering that from all the most expensive expenditure would be the console itself, I don't even count the TV, because let's be honest, you already had one in advance. There's no way I could imagine you had to buy one as well as your Xbox.
Yeah.
So there's already that to go with it, though, and it's like, what, you pay $60 for a game and you pretty much stick with that game for at least a month until you end up switching, because I know for most people they are not really big spenders on that, though. Their gaming diet is typically relegated to the 3 or 4 games of their choosing, and then that's about it, and that's like the best years. All right, after this next match, I'm going to go sign off for this one.
Yeah. A lot of people, and also a lot of people, which I understand why people are pissed, but they're pissed is with it's with the mode for the upcoming Call of Duty game that that is temporarily exclusive to the PlayStation. Not a cosmetic.
For the whole year.
Not
It's an actual game mode. In that one, for me, that's actually a more justified version, though, because then it means that unless you own a separate console or
and they
you
have
plan- you already
crossplay,
plan
which
on
doesn't
buying
make
one.
any sense.
So it just basically it just feels like just a massive really like we just basically there's this whole game mode that was built, but it's only going to be seen by what a third of the player base, however much that PlayStation ends up making.
About, or maybe 2/3. Who knows? It's just like it feels like cutting the nose off the face, cutting the nose off the face to spite. It's weird. Oh, that's not the right saying. Oh, I heard that is something that has been brought out by Sony.
Who?
Insomniac, you know, the developers for Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, those ones. Yeah, I knew about that when it first happened, though.
I was like,
I mean,
and everybody's like, wait, they were part of Sony already. It's like Respawn and EA.
I mean, probably because since a lot of their games were released on there, they kind of were just thinking like, yeah, you probably already are part of them. So then when that
Yeah.
news, it was just more of a, oh.
I haven't tried Blair Witch yet and I'm quite surprised that it came out immediately on Game Pass. I haven't tried it yet.
I haven't either. And
I
it looks
also-
like, and the Game Pass is definitely another reason why I think as to why I find it bullshit. Why a lot of gamers try to act like it's expensive. Because the Game Pass, you only pay like
It's like
15 to
about
$20 a
it's like
month.
about like $10-15 a month. I have like
About something like that, and
yeah.
like I paid $2 and I have the Game Pass Ultimate for up to like next year, like about the beginning, like January. or something of
Game
next
Pass
year.
Ultimate is a hell of a deal. I paid
Anyone else have
$10 less
So far, so
than
good.
both
But you'll excuse me if I remain a tad anxious till we're on that haven.
Game Pass. Thank you, Microsoft, for giving me the first one for $1, and for warning and for basically letting me upgrade. That's really cool of you.
So it's like 100 games. So these are like very small ones. So a lot of them are even like really big, high-end games as well.
Yeah, it's actually
Terminated.
And I'm happy that Microsoft has been going in that route because I can certainly say that if this were high school me, my mom definitely would have gone to that, and I would never have been short on games to play.
I got grabbed by sorry.
Found some supplies!
Let's not be spread out too long, eh?
25%. Oh no.
Damn, I'm surprised you still survived that.
That person's dead. That player is dead as
This
fuck.
looks dangerous.
Oh, they logged off. Did they log
Yep,
off?
I
I got grabbed too.
you got caught too. I just don't like that you can't escape the fire, because otherwise it's screwed.
I know, that's
Not
why.
even bothering.
Yeah, we gotta start over. This is really
Yeah. And in general, though, I don't just like this.
Yeah,
whole doom and
that's
gloom
I
thing
think
that a
that's
lot
why.
Oh, no, this person's here, but yeah, it looks as if they're just standing still. All right, just quit the game and we'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah, we're gonna quit the game. We're gonna quit the game. I'm bringing with you, and we're gonna start over. We haven't got very far. Oh my god. Yeah. It really bothered me about the. It's like a major part of the game is being exclusive to a console. Like it's not like cosmetics or a mission or two. It's a game mode.
So
Well-
I mean, my brother has already pre-ordered it, so it's not exactly like
Pre-order.
It's really a thing for me. I'm
Modern
already
Warfare, right? Warfare
yeah.
for
So I'm
which
already
console?
gonna have it at launch. I'm gonna have it at launch regardless. So for me though, I would say, yeah, that for me is something that actually is more on the end of like, that's more of something being reasonably upset for, because that's an actual game mode that you're missing out on.
Yeah. Okay, let's try escape again, and this time with someone who isn't gonna lag out. God,
Yeah.
that is so annoying. I'm beginning to see why some of my friends would prefer to play single player.
I mean, for me, this isn't really an issue. I usually have reliable players.
Yeah,
on these
most of the
ones.
time they're reliable, but every so often it's like, come on. Pull your weight, man. I always gonna be Mac, just curious. I'm gonna be Keegan.
I'm usually Keegan though, because I always say that when it comes to escape, I always say that you should always have someone who is always the ammo carrier, because his ultimate gives you ammo.
Alright, upgrading myself. Alright. I think we're good. God damn this cough. I had this cough for a couple weeks. The cold was really nasty. Yeah,
It sounds like it.
Yeah, my immune system was good, but when it hits me bad. Hits me hard. Here's a little nice detail. If you're playing as any of the Halo guest characters, they don't wear the masks.
Yeah. On there.
No, they still cough when they break free.
Well, yeah, because just because it's a helmet doesn't mean that nothing goes in there.
Good point.
Or at the very least, though, it's you can still somewhat suffocate even if you have a mask over you.
I can't breathe in this thing. Oh, some real life news. First of all, you ever heard about these like skip school to protest for to address climate change because of Greta? Greta
Thunberg, I think her name was.
Yeah, Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. I wish her luck. She has Asperger's. Well, and I wish her luck. Though,
I'm honestly glad that those kids are doing so.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
At least they have better priorities than people going to Area 51.
I always took that as a joke, but
yeah.
For those kids, I'm glad that they are really staying active with it, though, and it demonstrates that they're actively making sure that it's for the better.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really see it as anything other than a good thing. I mean, what's possibly bad about it? They want to make the planet better.
Yeah. Though I had my doubts whether or not it will make our politicians listen. I kind of feel at this point you got it.
Well, you just always gotta do what you can, though, and just take what, and especially, and this is the most important thing, take what victories you can.
Yeah.
Reject total.
Because often a lot of
until
people
the payload
the
blows.
big victories, when the small victories are going to be the sort of things you really want to pay attention to.
That's a really good point.
Taking this one, bomb's about to blow.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. We got a bit of time.
I know.
I'm still like flabbergasted at let's dwarf everything by running Naruto so we can dodge the bullets. And these people actually ran like Naruto. Their arms behind their backs, leaning forward as they run.
I tried that before. It is super uncomfortable to run like that.
My brother's calling me. What?
We're under attack!
I can't hear you, Nicholas. You guys have any minutes. Sorry. My door's closed and my brother's in my
Reloading!
No, you're fine.
This will cut him down.
Well done.
If a character for Fall is in the same with this game, yes. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I've always loved Gears of War.
What are you doing?
It was always a great series, and definitely is a shit behind.
Sergeant, grab some
I'm
one!
also surprised that they're between the Third Corner and Terminator.
Yes, I'll cut him down.
Yeah, I know. Those were pleasant surprises when I saw them, though, and I was always that was more than happy.
Close now!
Oh shit!
Reload!
All right, that thing's dead. Thank God.
That's all of
Supplies in
No, speaking
here!
of guest characters, I'm actually half expecting like actually Williams to show up in Mortal Kombat 11, or at least for the first Pokemon pass, because you don't.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Instead, we got the Joker. Because, of course.
It didn't surprise me though. I mean, in Injustice 2 is that only made sense at least one DC character to be in it. And
It's so big a hard thing because blood and gore and stuff.
exactly. And there's not exactly many DC characters who fit the bill to do stuff like that. And Joker is one of the few who would fit that bill.
Maybe
right
Lobo.
behind us. We gotta move.
Definitely Lobo. He would have done that stuff like that.
Yeah,
Though really, he was more of a parody of all of those things. So there is that to consider.
It'd be easier to find that in a Marvel character than a DC character if you think about it.
Under attack here!
Not really. DC was usually on the people who were more on the darker side of things though than Marvel was.
Marvel has to treat Dark.
Oh, they certainly did, but it's just as far as progress goes. Mostly the ones who are more better. That's a bummer.
I honestly thought that Marvel was Watchmen and
Yeah, DC is definitely
and that's like out of the edge. Like,
yeah.
Another dead drone!
Hey, are they actually?
Reloading!
Arnold Schwarzenegger is actually going to voice the Terminator in Mortal Kombat 11, or is it just going to be different?
Yeah, he actually voiced it. It was confirmed by Ed
Team,
Bruno.
doors open, let me in!
Split up.
Just now? I thought it was just of the model. Just now?
No, he actually. No, not just now. He said it like a while ago, around when the trailer first came out, where he actually said like he found it really cool that he got Schwarzenegger for the voice as well.
That's all
Oh,
of us.
I'll have to see that when it comes out.
Nicely done!
That is incredible. God damn this cough! I thought
Yeah,
I
that
it.
would be really awesome.
Just what I...
Oh, have you heard that the Telltale Company itself is back? Although people
Yeah,
join it,
I was aware of that.
It's a thing.
Hey team, need a lift? Raven is inbound.
Roger. We'll see you at extraction. We can't stay here long. Look around and stock up.
Warning, warning. Chamber has been breached. Opening in 3, 2, 1.
We're not done. Keep moving.
Alright.
On me!
I
On me!
don't see anything that's going on quickly. Oh god, this is the spot that gives me watching. Oh, fuck. I'm a little bit down, but I'm not down.
It's
What
dead.
I
Finally!
Got one! actually has a lipstick. I'm being dragged. Help. You know, that's actually what Junior
Shit. I was able to do it.
No. I'm fine. You can't get me any further. You gotta hurry.
Reloading!
I'm out of time.
Yeah.
Oh, you damn fire!
Sorry.
Just find a pod
Keep
that
it
has
up.
me in it, and should be good.
Got him. Taking this.
Sure, go ahead, take my stuff.
Got him.
Well, sorry, grab your contacts though. Let's see what to get for that because there was also a guy who
They
had for
should be
revive
in a
as
pod
well.
nearby.
Alright, that's understandable. Little bummed, but alright. Doesn't look like I on the car. Is it quick? You should give me soon, and I'll find some good ammo.
Oh, okay. So you could do that.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, okay. I didn't know like you could be revived.
Yeah.
Weapon
You know?
here.
I think we're clear.
Because that never happened though. Usually they were permanently dead.
When it happens, it usually happens right after that. The other players would quickly follow in your case.
Okay.
Alright, I got a hammer
This is
burst.
mine.
That's my guess. So, in your playthrough of Escape, do other players like die immediately after
Supplies
one
here.
dies?
Got it!
It's
I mean, that's what I always witness personally.
I should ask.
Don't spread too far out.
We gotta like really start getting going. I don't know where that other guy is going. Oh no, that's you though. Well, I'm saying try to go where I am at because we really have to go and get out of here.
Yeah,
the gas
got
is
it.
catching up.
Hostile down.
The venom.
Drone down.
Reloading.
Weapons empty.
You lose.
Oh, speaking of like Marvel and stuff, I actually heard a very interesting
Friendly fire.
and rumors about rumor. Here's a really interesting one. Movie
Supplies for the end.
A what?
Reloading.
Yeah, I buy that though.
I need ammo.
Ironically, that actually
Doors closed.
experience.
If they could go through that
Coming back.
be that pretty. Well, that first
That would certainly be interesting though, especially.
yeah.
That drone's history.
Right. Silence.
Eliminated.
Cease fire. Destroyed.
Oh, hey! That's hot.
I got you.
I'm reloading.
Friendly fire. Get out of my way.
Oh, funny enough, my brother had Emily. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's actually Emil. Where his melee is like and
More where that
decided to do next.
It's right now.
My brother was trying to keep it going on that see why. We should get a move on.
Closing high. Don't let any escape.
Reload.
Enough, warning. Shit! Could you revive us? Oh my god, thank you. Now about to find more and more. Oh no! God damn it! We were so close too.
Warning. Contamination detected.
At least I got my shit back.
In 3,
I'm not complaining.
Move out.
Okay, I'm not complaining. Much. Got my claw back. I really seem to be
Taking fire.
I seem to be really good at this thing.
Supplies for the effort.
Reload!
So I do have to clean out.
Doors closed.
I love it. I love it when he says stores closed.
I can still fight.
Thank you, subtitles.
Look, how could you?
Get me up!
Gunfire. God damn it, Keegan! Get back here!
Hey!
Well,
I need
you
help!
can't. Oh, yeah, let's see.
Get me up.
Be very. You
This
don't have to
isn't
go
good.
immediately to revive someone. They have time before they go back.
Get over here now!
Yeah, I'm going towards them.
Jeez, this guy freaking sucks. He should have already revived us.
Secure an ammo.
Yeah.
First of all, he shouldn't have ran so much so forward to begin with.
Yeah,
Although,
that's what
and
Nick.
because
That's
of
what.
that-
That's what brother like called me out on.
I'm reloading!
On me.
Supplies for the effort.
You don't have to go immediately. You'll be fine.
Get out of my way.
This shit is annoying. Flashbang. Heads up. Flashbang. Heads up. Talon. I mean, not Talon. Tiger. Very dead.
That's no history.
You can't be an idiot.
Let's go! Let's go!
I know. I don't have my friend of heal. Oh, sorry for shooting you.
Good to go.
You're fine.
Out of ammo!
I'm gonna be down too.
Get in!
I can't go towards you. You can press X just as easily.
On to supplies.
Good assist. Thanks.
I haven't really paid much of the years of
Be
it. How much does this game has improved from the previous ones?
For me, I think it's improved from 4 dramatically, but I always consider Gears of War 3 my most favorite.
Yeah, like what changes have they made from the previous Gears games?
Well, for one, though, I would say that they added open world, though, in 5, so there's that for
Good
it.
job, kids.
Multiplayer is still, a lot of it, though, is still very much what's there, but they really upgraded how strong the Lancers are, which I feel like they should definitely nerf that since of how strong it is. But overall, it's kept,
Hey,
Kept the same?
split up.
I mean, it still keeps a lot of it of what the previous games had, it just improved on stuff.
I still wish that you can turn around corners so I can mess up. It's such a it's a very like very it was a very convenient thing. I got you. And speaking of Borderlands, lately I find
Reload!
I do laugh at like that my ass is so full of sauce. That gave me a chuckle back there.
Damn it.
Still, is very
Keep it up.
the humor is very hit or miss. I am so glad. And I've heard some really weird things about Borderlands 3.
Well
which
done.
maybe glad I stopped playing Borderlands 2 because it's just not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me.
Zone's history.
Yeah, I get it. I was never really into Borderlands, so
Good work.
I just never
Oh shit!
Got another.
that was stupid of me on my end.
Alright, I'm coming.
Oh, get over here.
Yuzu! guess Studios would do a horror-based crossover fighting game, because someone actually did a big one. Terradrome, I think. It was.
Yeah.
Let nothing go to waste.
That one looks fun. Alright, looks like there's the exit.
Claws are ready.
Got a visual on extraction. Out of ammo.
I also use the retro lens.
Yeah, the executions.
really helps
the executions
them.
I think I honestly prefer the retro console over the regular. If you rev up the chainsaw, and you slow down.
Well, I much prefer that one though because I could use them in more emergency situations. Whereas retro, you need to have some time with it. Like you need build up to use it.
Good point.
Hey, good work.
Reload!
Activating costume.
Alright. Gonna clear out the space.
Okay! Let's jump the hawk! Feeling the hive! Run out! And don't let any of them escape!
My brother thought I was very cool for like
I mean, this guy's down again.
I know, right? Oh, shit, I'm dead.
Couldn't really do
Get
anything
out
with
of
it.
my way. I'm empty.
Oh, you're the last one to down.
Blast out!
My brother's probably going to join.
Reloading.
Well, this is going to be the last one. Already. This guy just sucks so bad.
I know.
It took them.
Like, dude, you got caught again.
And me, it was just down to bad luck.
Reload! One dead son! No one behind! Find that pod! Suck out!
That was the worst time you could have used that. You should have stuck it on him.
Yeah. Oh, God, I feel like I suck. How did I get the least amount of kills? Sure, Chuck Norris. Alright. Money meal, I think.
Your ass better stay alive through this. It's just him.
Reaper's gonna...
Yeah, that's what I told Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk, my brother says knife.
Ever considered a different line of work?
Alright, that's gonna be the last one for me of the night, though.
Yeah, it's been fun, even though that guy was a bit of an idiot. Ugh.
Oh well, it happens.
Yeah. And
Alright then, well, at least I
and here's to
at
hoping
least
that
enjoyed my time here.
yeah, same. And here's to hoping that the thing with Spider-Man gets resolved soon. Is that when? Is that if? But when? Anyway, it's been fun. It's been really fun.
Alright, yeah, definitely, let's hope to do this sometime later.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, see ya. And have a good night, everybody.